I think I want to share a few things through the lens of three things, the three things that really make me tick: science, community service, and Benicia. We'll start with science because that's the tough one. I love science. The games on the weekends, and I went back to school and I got my Master's of Science in Environmental Management. I knew that science is important to our future. And, you know, if they want to label me an environmentalist again, go right ahead. I think everybody should be an environmentalist. If you don't take care of our Earth, and it's not a priority, what is your priority? What is your priority other than saving our future? Placing greed, personal greed above, our future? That's why I think that all of us here and anybody that knows me knows that addressing climate change is a serious matter. I believe that climate change is real. I believe that we're now feeling the effects of climate change. I believe that it's human caused, and I believe it's going to be solved by humans too. Let's talk about community service. You've heard from our community leaders up here that I take community service very, very seriously. Since Joey there was in diapers and his older sister was in kindergarten, I stepped up and I served on their Matthew Turner Elementary School PTA with my friend Rhonda out there, and served many years. Took the biggest fundraiser they had for the PTA. Before our team got in there, they net about $30,000 a year, which did good things for our school. We got in there, we turned it into $100,000 a year. We put whiteboards in each classroom. We got teachers their own laptops. We put a new playground in, the first new playground that our elementary schools had seen in a long time. We got it done because when I volunteer, it's not like I volunteer a lot of times with my friends, but it's not to make friends, it's not to socialize. When I volunteer and serve my community, I want to get stuff done. And I've been doing that. Joe's 19 now, and I've been doing that for the 20 years that we've been here. So running for city council is an extension of that. It's a volunteer position. You don't get paid. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of trolls out there. Why would I put myself through this unless I feel like this is the next step in my evolution of community service? We need a diversity of voices and a diversity of perspectives on every level, on the Arts and Culture Commission, on every commission that the city has. The nonprofits in our community need your help. If we don't step up and serve our community, then only the people that are driven by self-interest will make the decisions for us. And we need people that think outside of their personal gain and profit. And I feel like you're here because you're that type of person, and thank you very much for showing up and doing the volunteer work that you do. So the last thing that makes me tick is Benicia. I love Benicia. I love raising my family in Benicia. My heart swells with pride when I come downtown and see it bustling, and the restaurants full, and the galleries full, and that just warms my heart. And we need to keep Benicia special. We need to understand and think about the future of Benicia, and that means making some tough decisions. There's a list of things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the rich history that we have here. the culture that we have here. We have to save our history, and and that means supporting the Benicia Historical Society and Museum. That means making sure that areas that should be saved, that have cultural significance, that we recognize that before we build or exploit those areas the ways they shouldn't be exploited. We need to understand our history and honor it. Open spaces. There's a lot of talk right now about our affordable housing, and I will get into that because I do know a thing or two, being on the Planning Commission, of what we've done for looking forward to doing on housing and including affordable housing, but not at the expense of our open spaces. Our open spaces attracted so many of us. I know it attracted my family here. So in the fall, what was known as Measure K, I don't know what it's going to be this time, but we have to extend Measure K for the next 10 years. You'll be able to ensure that our open spaces out there at Sky Valley, in between us and Vallejo, ensure that those beautiful hills are preserved, and that there's going to be a lot of need for housing, and we want to ensure that that area stays the way it is, open and a peace of mind when you drive by there. Arts Benicia and our arts community, Nikki said it, I'm a big fan of our artists in town. The industrial park is an important part of our community as well. We have to ensure that they have safe roads out there. We have to ensure that we get a diverse set of businesses out there. And, Steve and I have done a little bit of that in making sure that cannabis was, the business of cannabis was legalized in our community. And pretty soon we'll be figuring out just what that's bringing into our community money-wise. And I'm really proud of that work, and I think we need to make a priority of diversifying our economic base here in Benicia. We cannot rely on Vallejo for 1/3 of our city budget.
Less? No, what? 12?
So it's 1/8.
1/8 of our city budget. So attracting the businesses that will be good neighbors. Renewable energy is just exploding right now. Why don't we make room for those clean companies? Together, we'll really get a lot done if I'm elected. So thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to connecting with all of you. Thank you.